on the record in the matter of Mary McLean versus Colleen McPherson. Miss McPherson is here. Also here is Pam Kirkland from Adult Protective Services. Tony Laughlin from Adult PS, part of Commission on Aging. And we don't have Doug Coleman today, but I had excused him. This is a property on Mooney Lake Road that the defendant was residing in. We had a big discrepancy as to whether rent was being paid or not, but I don't need to resolve that question to resolve this. The township says she can't live there, and we have several agencies that were attempting to help her find a place to move to. Ms. McCullough, have you found a place to go? Ms. McPherson, have you found a place to go?
I have 2 apartments that I'm very interested in. I had to turn in the paperwork. They know the situation. They have to do so many checks now, and it just takes time. One was waiting for the cleaning crew to get done, and they said they'd be done today at 4. So I have prospects.
All right. Ms. Laughlin or Ms. Kirkland, either of you got any update for me regarding this?
She's continuing to work on it. We've submitted probably 10 applications just in the last week. And she does have plans to get her stuff packed up with her daughter tomorrow. So she is making progress. She just hasn't been able to vacate yet.
That was Ms. Laughlin from Commission on Aging. All right, well, you have 10 days from today to move. So let's talk about that, and I'll advise you guys as well. I would note that Mr. and Mrs. McLean are here. Ms. McPherson is here. Everybody's here live. I find that you have 10 days from today to move. That would be September 22nd. After that day, you could be subject to being evicted. You'd come to the courthouse with $15 and ask the sheriff to do the eviction. I think you're actively attempting to move. You want to move. You don't want to be there. They don't want you there. This is not any hearing regarding money damages. It's just regarding possession of the premises. There's no lease. Normally, I would say you have to turn in your keys and give your forwarding address within 4 days of your moving. I would simply change whatever locks are on there after she moves. I change the locks. I don't know whether you're going to pursue any money damages. There is no lease, so it's not a great case for that. At this point, you just want to get her out. I'm not doing any money judgment. Now, here's the key. You don't have to evict her on September 12th. You have the right to do that on the following day, the 13th. But I said this earlier today, if the moving van is backed up and she's in the process of moving, it might not make sense to do the eviction because it's messy. The sheriff comes out, they put all the stuff on the side of the road. It's much better if the tenant vacates on their own. She's got help from 2, possibly 3 agencies helping her to find a place to move to. There's funding available, but there aren't enough houses, period.
I have the funding.
Yes.
Housing Resources is paying 3 months rent and the deposit.
Yes, you're very fortunate. So many people don't have that.
Right.
But there's not enough housing and there's not enough subsidized housing. I don't know if you guys, there's a meeting, and that's probably not Adult PS's purview, but they're having a meeting on Tuesday, September 10th, 9th, I guess that would be. I guess it's Wednesday, September 10th, at the Presbyterian Church to talk with all the housing providers and funding providers. And at any rate, you should plan on vacating there within the next 10 days. If they do that, the matter's done. I don't have a bailiff And Elaine, what I'll do is I'll ask you guys to go out to the court office, each get a copy of this order. You got 10 days to move, you got plenty of help.
The judge sets the stage as families brace for tough choices.
Hopefully, they can find a nice apartment for you, get part of your rent paid. Did you have a particular one you were interested in? What's the one where they were doing the cleaning?
That's in Kalamazoo.
All right. I'll tell you what, everybody just wait here and she'll bring copies back to us.
Judge Middleton,
Yes,
can I ask that you maybe ask Miss McLean not to enter Miss Colleen's apartment when she's not there, and videotape and send me videos of the home when Miss
Yeah, there's
McPherson is not there.
there's no lease, so there isn't provisions of the lease. She's a tenant at sufferance, but she is a tenant. So absent her consent, you don't
I
have
had
the right to
consent.
go in there. So let's just get through the next 10 days. Hopefully it'll be sooner than that. You can vacate, and as I said, I'm sure you won't get in this situation again. This was way more trouble than it was worth. All right. Meg, I've got Casey Villa from Golden Ponds, and I have I don't have the attorney yet. I was gonna put you in the breakout room with the attorney, but I think that's the manager. All right, so everybody's on the same page. You're gonna get out of there. You're not gonna go in her apartment for the next 10 days until she vacates. Yes?
You spoke a lot about health and safety the last time. We have two major concerns. For one, I did have permission to go in there,
Okay.
and part of the video was to show the deplorable conditions. Pam herself told me and Miss McPherson she belonged in a nursing home, that even assisted living should not be within her reach with her current conditions. There are hatching flies, maggots, filth, rodents. It's horrible as far as safety and health. I'll be able to get it
Just a
cleaned
minute.
up eventually,
And
but,
that, I believe you.
but her son is violent. He is a
Is
felon.
he there too?
No,
She tried to move him in, saying she needed him to care for her because she needed help, and got a doctor to give her an order that said he had to live there.
Well, you need to get out. Don't bring your son in there or anyone else in there.
he's trespassed. He hasn't been back out
We
there.
had to get a trespass order.
But I don't know how this place got so filthy, whether it was
It's
free or
not
not
that
free.
filthy.
I have
When it
video.
was,
Stop. There's not something called not that filthy. If it's got flies and maggots in it, it's
I
not.
told her about the flies. They took the thermostat.
All right, I
When it
don't
was-
need to hear any more about it. You just need to get out.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
give her that. She and her supporters can leave, and then we'll wait a few minutes to have them friends leave.
Thank you.
If it's bad enough, it could have been subject to immediate health and hazard. And so Douglas Kuhlman sort of backed up a little bit, but theoretically I could have evicted her the next day. But the sooner this tenancy comes to an end, the better. All right, everyone, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Your Honor.
All right, you guys just stick with me for a minute and then we'll,
Oh, okay.
Is he serving formal?
yes.
I wanted to make.
That isn't very good. Like I said, I was gonna go over these before I gave them to you. And all right, thank you. I got things. But you're supposed to be
I
gone.
have to leave at 2:40.
Oh, I thought it was 2.
No,
I got bumped back.
Yeah.
All right, as I said, no good deed goes unpunished. I had a couple of these, including the next one. And so I'm sure you guys want to get out of this business. All right, they're probably gone. You guys are good to go.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
thank you. Hopefully I won't see you in here anymore. Although you're welcome to come visit anytime.
I would like that.
Okay, I'm open all day
Too
from
much
8 to
work to do at
5,
home.
or you can watch it on YouTube. Thank you.
We have friends that watch no other TV but you. I'm serious.
Tell them thank you, but they need to get out more.
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
What your plans are retirement, but it's not terrible.
Okay, well, you're a year ahead of me, so I'll catch up with you next year.
The pressure rises as the sheriff's role looms in the balance.
226, that was just through August. So there was an issue regarding the amount of the arrearage. What is the claimed arrearage at this time?
Total arrearage in the total amount, this includes court costs and everything, is
Well,
1,000.
leave the court costs out, just rent and utilities through September.
Okay, rent, utilities, and late fees is $1,033.42.
All right, well, how much is rent?
Of that, it's hard to break it down, Your Honor, because there have been periodic payments throughout. I can give you the whole history.
Well, this is lot only, correct?
Correct. It's $395 a month, except for September, it bumped to $400 a month. It has been, the last time that rent was current was the end of January.
Well, and you're charging a $60 per month late fee and.
I actually cut it down to 50 in the number I gave you.
Well, I'd like to know, and the defendant would like to know, how much is rent, how much is utilities, and how much is late fees?
Judge, may I?
Yes,
So some of the defenses that the defendant is raising stem in part from the fees being assessed. I think this is a quintessential example of the fee death that is occurring in our communities. The late fees assessed come to a total of $660 based on the ledger that I received. We've also got almost $200 in credit card convenience fees, despite the fact that there are pretty limited ways to pay. We've got water test fees that rise to $76. I'm not sure that under the Clean Drinking Water Act, those charges can be assessed or not. I haven't had time to, or a chance to look into it. But we've also got sewer usage being charged twice. We've got utility service fees every month. We've got sewer usage fees every month, and we've got sewer assessment every month, collectively exceeding $300. More importantly, I think, the defendant raises as affirmative defenses that rent should be mitigated based on unverified water or questions of the water quality and usability. And I will say that this is not the only case at this park that we're investigating, so we have requested records. And it currently appears that the park's license is expired. So the park operating license through LARA and the Bureau of Construction Codes expired on October 1st of 2024, as far as I can see. And I can share the public interface for the record, licensing records, I mean. But for all those reasons, the defendant believes that what plaintiff is seeking is it should not be awarded today, and that we ask the court to set it for a trial.
okay.
Trial.
This issue, Mr. Cromendike, I had mentioned this before. Neither you or Ms. V or the current owners were there at this park, but we've had water quality issues over the years at this park, wastewater treatment facility, and there's the same issues. You got 40 trailers all flushing their toilets over the same groundwater the well is in. And this park has been here for many years. There were some improvements made. I mentioned to you that one of the previous owners actually put the drain field and septic fields on a neighboring farmer's property without telling them. They just had them installed. So this has been historically. We had another owner who I think precedes this owner, who made a number of improvements to the park, paving, septic, other issues. But I don't know what the current status is. As I mentioned before, the health department was reluctant to condemn the park and make everybody in it homeless. But we got multiple issues. I can't tell how these figures were calculated. Apparently there's stuff in here I don't know about. Credit card fees, water test fees, sewer usage fees, and $660 of late fees. And what happens, Miss Gray, this is common. When you get behind on your rent, this happens with your credit card too. Let's say your rent is $500 a month. And in December, you pay $400, so you're late. So you pay $500 in January, you're still $100 behind. So you get a late fee for January. Then you pay $500 in February, you're still $100 behind. You get another $50 late fee. So even though you're paying, when you carry an arrearage forward, they apply your payment to the oldest month's rent. And the same thing works with your credit card. You'll be making a payment, but you get a arrearage fee each month, and all of a sudden your credit card bill is very large. I wasn't sure about these credit card usage fees. That you have to pay a fee to pay your rent.
It's a
And I'm not
processing
sure.
fee.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's a processing fee, is my understanding.
Is it on everybody's rent?
It's if you choose to pay by credit card, the credit card company charges a fee.
Okay.
And
That
rather
makes
than eating
sense.
that fee, the park passes it on to the tenant.
Yeah, I certainly respect that. I thought it was you're putting your rent on your credit card, not good financial advice, but yeah, there's a fee and they make the tenant pay it.
Judge,
Okay,
my understanding is that tenants are prohibited from paying by money order at this park.
That I'm not aware of.
Privacy rights clash with property control in this heated turn.
Convenience fee of 2.95% is being charged if they make a payment through a credit card. And there's an option to choose ACH, and it tells them that it's only $1. And there's also payments through Walmart, Walgreens, 7-Eleven, which is through a Pay Near Me code, which is also a standard of $4 per payment. So those are our payment options, Your Honor.
can they pay cash?
They can't, sir, unfortunately. Yeah.
So they have to pay for the privilege of paying their rent. They have
It's
to
all
pay some
paperwork.
sort of, I'm not sure under the Landlord-Tenant Relationship Act, you can do that, but I don't know. The world is certainly changing. There's a lot of pay portals for different parks and apartments, but I don't believe there ought to be some option to pay that doesn't cost you anything. And I don't know if does the lease prohibit payment in cash. So anyway, there's a lot of issues here that need to get resolved. Not the least of which is the allegation that the operating license for the park at.
I do not know anything about that. I'm going to need to look into it and talk to my client.
Well, at this point, I'm reluctant to simply set a trial. I think we need to set a further hearing. You guys need to explore some of this. And I need to know how this is broken down. just throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. I can't tell how much is rent, how much is late fees, how much is user fees.
Yep.
And
I've got a full spreadsheet broken down, and I just want to clarify. Meg had mentioned some numbers earlier about total late fees and total credit card fees and total utility fees. My numbers are slightly different because I calculated from starting February 1, because the last time rent was current was the end of January. So I didn't worry about anything pre-February 1. So the numbers I have are from February 1 through today. Over that period, I've got a breakdown of, rent, which was $395 a month, except for this most recent month of September, which was $400. Late fees at $50 a month. They're showing as $60 a month on the ledger. I dropped them down to $50. I've got utilities broken down over that period. There's been a total of $587.92 of utilities. And over that period, and then I've got a total of the payments and the credit card fees that were associated with that.
What are the utilities?
Utilities are just the water, which my understanding is that in the past, the water was billed directly to the tenant. There's a Universal Utilities is the meter provider out there. And in the past, they billed each tenant individually. And that recently, earlier this year, they changed that. And so they now bill the park, and the park bills out to each individual tenant, if that makes sense.
Well, we'll have to sort it out. So is there a well? There's a water provider that provides water to this?
So I don't know if it's well or city. I believe that there's one meter that comes into if it's on public water, there's one meter for the park, or it's a well. And then there's a separate.
Judge, may I respond?
Yes.
So there's a couple of questions here. Can unpaid utilities, particularly when those are owned and operated and managed by a third-party company, provide a basis for eviction based on unpaid rent? That's a legal question. Factually, the ledger that I'm looking at, there was a charge on August 21st, Universal Utilities water test fee, $12.80, Universal Utilities service fee, $9, Universal Utilities sewer usage charge, $6.10, Universal Utilities sewer, $45.12, Universal Utilities water minus $20 community credit, which I don't know what that is, but $11.13. So it is more than just water. We've got 2 sewer charges plus a service fee plus a water test fee plus the water usage fee. Never mind that I talked about.
And I'm not finding that stuff in the lease. So is the contention that they aren't paying the third-party service provider?
My understanding is that in the past, those amounts were billed from Universal Utilities directly to the tenant. And so that was a responsibility of the tenant to pay Universal Utilities. And that changed at some time earlier this year, where the Universal Utilities now bills the park pays, and then goes to collect from the respective tenants. That's my understanding, at least.
Okay, we're gonna have to sort that out because it's not in the lease. The lease also says defendant can pay by check or money order or ACH transfer. Cash is not acceptable.
This is a whole additional can of worms, Judge, but you'll note that lease isn't actually signed by my client.
Oh, wonderful.
Right.
In fact, the lease, paragraph 10, doesn't allow payment by credit card. Residents shall make payment and other charges by electronic transfer, arch, check, or money order. So there's this lease is not in compliance with current practice. It was dated August 31st of 2024. It's now a month-to-month basis. Anyway, there's a whole. And the well is owned by a private company or managed by a private company?
It's managed by Universal Utilities, sir. So we have our meters through Universal Utilities. It's installed to every unit. And they're the ones who read the meters every month. We receive the bill and then we input it in their ledger.
All right, is there a septic system or a sewer system?
We are on septic, sir.
Each individual unit?
Yes, sir.
Each unit has its own septic?
Yes, sir, I believe.
No wonder you have water. These individual trailer lots are not big enough to maintain a septic system. At one point, there was some sort of park system, as I mentioned, he put it in the neighbor's field. But if every one of these trailers, and this is a phenomenon, has its own septic. The
Yeah, I'm
lots
not
aren't
sure on
big.
that.
We'll have to sort all this out, but again, apparently somebody's testing the water, so that's a plus. I don't know what the results are, but
I do know I had a water test that I had seen earlier this year. I don't know when the last one was done, but I know that it's been done
The court confronts chaos, cutting off the argument sharply.
fairly regularly.
All right, I think the new owner probably is in the process of trying to get things squared away. I mentioned to you last time, Mr. Commandike, we spent a good deal of time at the district judges conference in August discussing mobile home parks. And these septic and water issues are not just local to St. Joe County, but this lease doesn't match the practice. Defendant disputes the amount owed. And there's a fundamental issue about whether you can do a non-payment of rent in a lot only case, that it should be a just cause termination. Judge Murphy in Livingston County wrote a very well-written opinion that says you can't do it. Meg, have you given any thought to that issue?
Yeah, that's a complicated issue because the right to redeem is a valuable right for tenants.
That's why I haven't forced it, especially during COVID. We were getting emergency financial assistance for people. But with the just cause termination, they don't have any option but to vacate. So I've been allowing it for 20 years, but some other judges are not. And I don't know that you want to break that wall for your clients, because in this case, if they did a just cause termination, she'd have no option but to move. In a non-payment of rent case, you can redeem it. We just need to figure out how much the rent is.
I also think, Judge, that really where the rubber meets the road on this kind of factual or this kind of question actually depends on what the park does upon receiving its judgment and the tenant defaulting on the judgment. They have the
Yes.
right to remove the home from the lot, I believe, say, in a non-payment of rent case like this. They have the right to remove the home from the lot, but they do not have a right to touch anything inside the home if they
Yes,
don't own it.
that's the current state of the law.
Which is problematic because number one, it's very expensive to move a home.
Yes.
And
Cost of
right,
doing business.
and number two, where do you put it?
Yes.
Cost of doing business.
Right.
Yeah, well, you were at our seminar because those very questions were presented by Mr. Cox and asked by all the judges. And as more large companies are buying mobile home parks, this issue is going to continue to come up. Well, what I'm going to do with this is bump it out a couple of weeks, and I'm going to ask you guys to do some hard work and talk to each other.
Certainly. I appreciate Attorney Cromendike calling me back. We just
Yeah,
don't quite have time.
I'd like to figure it out. I mean, at the core of it, I think, yeah, I'd like to just sit down and we can work through it and get it figured out.
Well, one thing they could use a new lease. The
Mhm.
amounts have gone up, the practices have changed. There's no reference in here to sewer or water. The late fees need to be addressed. The method of payment needs to be addressed. They're allowing credit card payment. That's the first one I've seen where people are paying their rent with a credit card. But the lease doesn't seem to allow for that. It does allow check or money order. But let's see, today is the 5th. All right, let's continue this to Friday, September 19th at 11:05. Now, Ms. Bauer spoke to this. If the water or sewer is inadequate, there's abatement of rent issues and covenant of habitability issues. I went out once to visit a site, a mobile home. I did a site visit and the landlord was there, the tenant was there. And it had a nice unattached garage, but the trailer was older, probably a 50s model. It started to rain. And while I was there, the rain was running down the inside of the walls, all through the trailer. And I ordered the tenant had to pay no rent. I abated all of it, but they needed to get out of there. Literally, the water was just running inside the walls of the trailer. I don't know how much mold was in there. But trailers are older. They're passing their useful life. You can't move them. There's just a lot of difficult issues with them. So you guys are gonna be in communication. We'll see what we can do. Now, Miss Gray, right now, this is filed as a non-payment of rent case. One issue of concern is you don't want to kick over too many rocks, because if the health department condemns this place, you're gonna have to move, and you can't move your trailer. You can't afford to move it. They could come out and placard it as inhabitable. I don't think we're there. I don't think it's that situation. I had another place that I think maybe, but this very park was in that position 20 years ago. I haven't been out there in a long time. Maybe I need another road trip. At any rate, you stay in contact with your lawyer. Your lawyer's going to be in contact with their lawyer. We'll see if we can come to some resolution. If we can't, at least we can narrow the issues for the trial. All right, I'll see everybody in 2 weeks, 11:05 on September 19th, 11:05 to noon. All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Case of the day and of the week is Kyle Grant versus Danielle Ballard. Mr. Grant is here in the conference room. Danielle Ballard is here. We discussed this case last week. I don't think Ms. Ballard really wants to be there, but she didn't have anywhere to go. Mr. Ballard Mr. Grant let her move in there. That wasn't a good idea. His girlfriend didn't like it, cut off the power. And here we are. Miss Ballard, have you had any success finding a place to move to?
I have not.
Say that again.
No, I have not. I'm sorry.
Attorney dismantles fees, exposing shady housing practices. Late charges, double billing, even expired licenses revealed.
Maybe within a couple of miles where the health department came in and condemned the apartment and the lady's still in it. We need to get her out. So
Out of there.
go ahead.
I've been moving my stuff out of there and putting it in storage.
All right. You also owe me money, but I'm not gonna push that issue right now. You need money to try to get another place to go. But this is a tenancy of last resort. And he wants you out. In fact, he needs to get you out because the township may get on his back. All the utilities are currently working.
Yes.
So, Mr. Grant, in addition to not receiving any rent, you're paying all the utilities?
Yes,
This was never actually set up as an apartment, was it? It was just something that was sort of cobbled together?
it was put together as a storage room, but it is like a bedroom, I mean, but, yeah, like I say, she needed a place to stay, and I didn't want to see her stay outside, so I said you could stay there till we can figure something out, you know, and
Well, is there a bathroom in this building?
she can use the bathroom in the house if she needs to. I mean, let's say she's got access to whatever she needs, so.
When did the door get unlocked?
All right, so you need to move.
Yeah.
I thought there was a bathroom out there, so you have to go into their house to use the bathroom?
Yeah, whenever the door is unlocked again. I guess. I mean, they were keeping it locked all the time and to lock me for the bathroom, so I'd have to go in town, ride my bike in town to use the bathroom and shower and stuff.
Oh, boy. You can't do that either, but then you've got a hostile tenant just walking around inside your house. This is a bad situation. Miss Ballard, you got 10 days to move or you're subject to being evicted. You can't continue in this tenancy the way this is. Or I can have the health department come condemn it and they can remove you tomorrow. You can't live in a shed above somebody's garage, a storage room. And Mr. Grant, you can't let somebody live in there. If you ask me for money, I probably would deny it because you shouldn't have let her move in there in the first place. But she's living in what's probably a not habitable space without a bathroom. You need to provide her access to the bathroom.
She has all
Let's go ahead.
I was gonna say, she's got access, all she's gotta do is knock on the door, and like I say, I'm not the one locking the door, you know? I got another roommate that just they don't get along, and she says this and she says that, and I'm tired of getting yelled at both ways. And so, I mean, if she needs.
Yeah, that's what I
Got
want
a
to do.
problem, I got the door unlocked, when I'm there, I unlock the door, so.
Thank you.
You need to unlock the door or make it available to her. Miss Ballard, you got 10 days from today to vacate, which is September 22nd. Are you on probation upstairs?
No, I'm going through a Arno case.
It hasn't been, it's still pending in circuit court?
Correct.
All right.
I have trial on the
And-
14th of October. I was the in a high-speed police chase.
All right, you have 10 days to appeal this, which is also September 22nd. Mr. Grant, in the meantime, she is what's called a tenant at sufferance. You let her move in there. She's not a trespasser. She's kind of a squatter, but not exactly. She came in with your permission. And since she is there with your permission, you need to allow her, you can't shut the utilities off, and you need to allow her to use the restroom.
Not a problem.
All right. But if she's not out within 10 days, you come here on the following day, which is September 23rd, and bring $15, and you can get a writ of eviction, and the sheriff will come and put her out. So Miss Ballard, I guess I would encourage you to continue to make whatever steps you need to get your stuff out of there.
Yes, sir.
As I recall, you had driver license issues. Do you have a valid license?
I do not.
So you've been riding your bike?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any family around here?
I have a brother, but we don't communicate.
Well, you're in a tough spot, but you can't stay here.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Okay. You got 10 days to vacate. All right, you're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Grant, if you wait, I'll give you a copy of that order.
All right.
You go out to the counter and the clerk will give it to you, okay? Meg, thanks for your help. Got a lot of septic tank issues today, 3 of them or more.
It is.
All right, thanks.
Bit of a stinky week. Bad.
Well,
time, you know.
all these mobile home parks, this park's probably 70 years old. It was old when I got here in the prosecutor's office. And you've got a lot of trailers in close proximity. And if each one of those little trailer lots is its own septic field, you can't draw water from that aquifer. But it's very expensive to put in a treatment plant. So I tend to question the continuing viability of rural mobile home parks without wastewater treatment. Anyway, I just inspected one earlier this week that was in very poor condition. All right, I'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Living in a shed with no bathroom. Judge shuts it all down. 10 days to leave as the law draws the final hard boundary. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.